beautiful soul. Welcome back to Reset and Rise Midlife Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Sabrina Woods, and today's episode is one that hits deep for a lot of us. We're talking about something that so many of us carry quietly, sometimes for years, maybe even decades, and that's the cost of holding on. Let me say this right off the top. Holding on to the past will cost you your peace, your freedom, your growth, and often your future. We tell ourselves that we're just being careful or cautious, or we're just remembering what happened so we don't repeat it. But the truth is, sometimes what we're really doing is reliving it over and over again. And that reliving, it keeps us stuck, not growing, not moving, and definitely not healing. So today, we're going to explore what happens when we don't let go emotionally, mentally, and even physically, and how choosing to release the weight of the past can give you space to finally start living again, to finally feel light again. There is a big difference between carrying a lesson and carrying luggage. Let me say that again. There's a big difference between carrying the lesson and dragging the luggage. You see, lessons are like postcards from your journey. You can look back, reflect, and say, yeah, I went through that. But I don't need to carry the whole suitcase filled with pain, regret, resentment, or shame. Let me give you a visual. Imagine walking down the path towards a beautiful life, one filled with joy, purpose, connection. But you're dragging behind this big old red suitcase. And that suitcase is packed with every hurt, every misstep, and every misunderstanding. Every moment that someone didn't see your heart. And the longer you carry it, the heavier it gets. And eventually, you stop walking because it's just too heavy. That's what holding on does. It paralyzes us. So ladies, I want you to sit with this journaling prompt later. I want you to ask yourself, what am I still carrying that no longer serves me? And then ask yourself, is it a lesson or is it luggage? Now, let's talk about forgiveness. And I want to say this gently but honestly. Forgiveness is not the same as forgetting. Forgiveness is releasing yourself from the prison of the past. It's saying, I choose not to carry this anymore, even if it's hurt, even if it was unfair. Sometimes the person that we need to forgive the most is ourselves, for staying too long, for not speaking up, and for abandoning ourselves to keep others comfortable. But here's the truth. You did the best you could with what you had and who you were at the time. And now you know better. And now you get to choose differently. We don't forgive the excuse. We forgive to be free. Forgiveness is the bridge between holding on and healing. But one of the most beautiful things I've ever witnessed, not just in my clients, but in myself, is that it's never too late to change. Not at 40, not at 50, not at 60, and not at 75. I've had the honor of speaking with some incredible souls who've reinvented their lives simply by making the decision to stop living in the shadows of who they used to be or who others thought they were. When you stop holding on, you free up energy to create. Whether it's launching a new business, starting a new relationship, writing your story, or moving across the country, you are allowed to evolve and you don't need permission to begin again. But I would like you to know that letting go isn't just for you. It's for your children, your nieces, your nephews, the next generation that are watching you. Every time you heal, every time you interrupt the pattern, and every time you forgive, you stop reacting from the pain and you model a new way and you show others that you don't have to carry everything. You're allowed to lay it down. Healing doesn't mean that the past didn't happen. It means that it doesn't control you anymore. But let's get real for a moment about something many of us deal without even noticing it. The social media nostalgia traps. Often they come up as Facebook memories and they send you spiraling. Old photos, old friends, old versions of yourself that no longer reflect who you are. And then we scroll, we compare, and we begin to question, was I happier then? Was I better back then? But here's what I want you to hear. Social media will only show you moments. It will never show you the full truth. The highlight reel is not your real life. So don't let your past self on social media become a prison for your future. You're allowed to evolve beyond what people remember about you. I've come to realize in my own growth that many people from my past still have that same version of me stuck in their head, like I never grew at all. We do not have to allow their opinions of us to go into our future. We can lay it down and let it go and rebuild ourselves into who we are and not with who they want us to be. So how do we actually move forward? I'm going to tell you a few mindset shifts that will help you to begin. Number 1, remind yourself that I am not who I was, and that's a good thing. I release what no longer serves me, even if it once felt like home. And finally, I trust who I'm becoming more than who I've been. You're allowed to outgrow people, beliefs, habits, labels. And speaking of labels, let's tie that into something I recently posted about on Facebook. In a recent post, I talked about what it feels like to be misunderstood, to have people see you through a lens that no longer fits. Maybe they see the old version of you, the angry version, the broken version, the one who hadn't done the work yet. And it can feel unfair because you've changed, you've grown, and you've healed. But others may still be holding on to you, the version of you that doesn't even exist anymore. So here's what I want you to remember. It's not your job to stay small to fit someone else's old narrative about you. You get to shed the labels and you get to rewrite the story. So I want to wrap this up with a few journaling prompts to sit with this week. 1. What's one thing that I need to let go of that is costing me peace? 2. What labels have others placed on me that I no longer accept? 3. What version of myself am I ready to say goodbye to? And here's your affirmation to go with these journaling prompts. Write it on a sticky note. Put it up all over your house. Whatever you need to do to remind yourself that I am not my past. I am the author of my future. And I want to thank you for being here with me today. If this episode spoke to your heart, please share it with someone else who's ready to let go and live free. Share it with another lady, another soul who you recognize is still stuck in the past. And if you're doing the work of releasing, reinventing, and rising, I see you, I honor you, and I'm with you every step of the way. Until next time, ladies, keep rising.